Hey creatives! A couple of weeks ago I went to the lake and I brought with me a sketchbook and I filled out the last spread and the last page of it, so I finished another sketchbook. I think it's not a case that this is a squared one. I've been loving square sketchbook in the past years. I started just a couple of years ago with the first one, and I've been using them more and more along my art journey. And in this video I want to have a sketchbook tour briefly and explain you why I love squared sketchbooks. If you are new to the channel, my name is Luigi, also known on social media as Illustrazionidilut. In this channel I'm talking about painting, drawing, art supplies, my own art journey. So let's start this sketchbook tour. So even if I'm working on multiple sketchbooks at the same time, I think it's always worth to celebrate the fact that you finish a sketchbook, because it's kind of a rare experience. I guess many of you share the same. I want to give you an insight on this sketchbook. Here I sum up all my squared and not squared sketchbook for discussing the differences. Here I have several sizes. This was the first one I got, is from SMLT Art. It's completely finished, and there is a sketchbook tour even here in the channel. And then this one is a future substitute of this, which I've been loving. It's kind of more bulky, but hopefully it's gonna work as everyday travel sketchbooks, just to have it in your jacket in winter time and in your backpack in summertime. Then I recently got this from Paul Rubens. One is cold press, one is hot press, and this is my Rhodia sketchbook, which I love for ink washes and studies, and is very light for the size it has. If you compare my square sketchbook with a similar area of a sketchbook I'm always using a lot, that is this Royal Talents one, you see that you get this same area but different distribution. What you have here is the option to go for either portrait or landscape with a quite big area of action. The impression is that it's not even more versatile in terms of portrait or landscape action, but it gives you also an easier clip link on your planner board. There's a video on how to do this. It's easier and more stable when you are clipping it this way compared to, for example, a vertical sketchbook. So this may be a little bit more of a studio sketchbook, while a landscape one, which I have, but it's not my favorite between the three size option. You can clip it very well, but you are very much forced to landscapes. So I would like to know in your favorite shape, landscape, vertical or squared. Also depending on the size of the sketchbook, so you can play on different sizes. Without further ado, I want to speak about this sketchbook specifically. It's not branded, it's actually handmade, but not by me. I'm not able to sew that well. It's made by a friend that I met from Instagram in Sicily 2 years ago, made with a textile which is directly from Sicily. So they're representing their culture with this, and I'm linking here Instagram handle so you can contact in case you want to order one of these. So I started this in the 17th of August 2024, so a couple of months later, and the 1st of May this year I finished it. Took me a little bit less than 2 years. As I said, I'm working on way too many sketchbooks at the same time, around about 10 or 12. It's already good that I finish, and the reason why I finish is that it's handmade with very good paper, cotton, Fabriano 100%. Came with me during traveling and plein air quite a lot. They gave me this sketchbook together with a wish that their city of Palermo inspired me for nice painting and drawings, and so it was. Went into a shop with a crazy owner in the very last day, and they gave us this business card. The first time I used it, I was in Tyrol in Austria, and I paint the beautiful views on the mountain, experimenting a little bit with the granulation on this paper. I actually took it quite later because it was already February of the next year in Marienplatz, which is the main square in the city center of Munich. We had this studio view directly on the square, which was amazing because it's kind of difficult to have this view, and so I sketched it. I also sketched the houses under my apartment in the nearby, and then I started urban sketching because I was planning to go in the next month to Japan last year, so I wanted to do some urban sketching, which I've never done before. And so this is a study from a reference. This is the garden under my parents' place in Italy. Again, the garden, and a study from an image of a Japanese shop. Again, study from an image from a Japanese shop. I was planning to do many. Actually, I didn't do a lot of them in reality. Completed though a small accordion sketchbook, and there is also a sketchbook tour of that one in the channel. Here are some studies in the nearby, which I'm not that proud of. There are quite some paintings which I don't like, say at least half of them, but I'm still showing them all. I think it was kind of a no watercolor period now, because every time I was touching watercolor, it was a complete mess. So I feel like it's a medium that if you are not that inspired to use in that specific day, you should just skip and take something else. It's kind of difficult if you are not inspired to paint. This is again the garden under my parents' place, so I was just spending some afternoon there. And this is a couple of characters from the last season of the Netflix series called Black Mirror. So I kind of like how this watercolor effect turned out in strong cauliflower. And this is the balcony of my parents' place with lots of clothes hanging. That makes a lot of atmosphere in sketches, in my opinion. I tried this only one time, watercolor sticks, which I get as present, and I don't exactly know how to use them. Here I was in Bologna, so it was April last year. There was this Fabriano event, Fabriano in Acquerello, and there are many artists there sketching all together in Bologna. This is, again, a little bit of a study from a reference with only pen and ink. And if you see here, I use a soluble ink, which has some kind of advantages, in my opinion. When you are using it with watercolor, it easily dissolves in your sketch together with watercolor, so it gives you a lot of unpredictable effects. Depending on the ink you're using, it can dissolve more or less, so you still can get your line preserved or not. There's a portrait study with a handmade watercolor from a friend, which are very beautiful. It was almost no light. I was on the balcony, so I wrote that low light because I was painting almost blind, and I played to see how the colors were changing depending on the light conditions. Another small study with the handmade watercolors I mentioned. And here a gouache study on the balcony. I don't like this, but it's here. And this was acrylic gouache actually. And I think it's the only acrylic gouache I've been using on this sketchbook, but I loved the result I got. This was Turner acrylic gouache, I believe. And I turned these into stickers. So this is my sticker attached on my watercolor palette. This is also my sticker. You can get yours if you want through the link in the description. Keep going on this sketchbook tour. Here some very messy absolutely hating this page is on the Botanical Garden. I think most of the remaining sketchbook was at the Botanical Garden in different sessions. I've been going there in autumn and winter quite often. Try to use directly watercolor, not with ink like this. Make nice green shades by mixing blue and yellow. And here I was outside in the main garden of the Botanical Garden. This is the ticket entry. It was the last day before the winter closure. So it was still kind of green outside and it was possible to sketch nice plants. I went back there after autumn in 1st of March this year and sketched the very brownish and dry trees that were around this lake, together with the artist friend, which is also painting here. Particular park where you can have several temples from different religions. This was the view with the street in the middle, and you can paint two temples from different cultures at the same time. And also here again, my friend painting. I experiment with vertical. It's something that I'm not doing that often, to get a square sketchbook in vertical direction. I was struggling so much to get the nice contrast I wanted to have, and in the end I just use a fountain pen to highlight the details in these trees inside the tree house. First time I used gouache plein air was extremely messy, and also there was this nice tree that was blossoming, but I couldn't achieve the contrast I wanted to. This is a nice house in district of Munich, north. Again, I tried the gouache plein air, and this is actually, I think, watercolor, but it's so muddy that it looks like gouache. And here, actually, the same day, I tried the gouache from Caran d'Ache. Plein air also was kind of messy. I just wasn't get the approach to it. This is underneath my apartments, just plants flowering, scribbling around. And this is Blutenburg, which is a Schloss, so a castle here in Munich. You get very nice landscape because in a square format you are not limited in vertical direction, and you can play around with the sky and so on, which is something I've been doing also in this painting, which is probably my favorite one in this sketchbook, and also the last one. It's in Chiemsee, which is a lake southern Munich. And 1st of May I've been there enjoying a very sunny day. This with a new travel watercolor setup with White Nights watercolor, fresh squeezed inside the pens, and I got this in almost one shot, how the colors diffuse in the mountains and in the water. Same day I finished this, going from the cotton paper to the normal paper, just leaving this black and white, sketching this nice couple at the sunset. So I guess in this video I show you how versatile a squared format is in a sketchbook. You can either go for portrait or for landscape, or play around with a square. I like also to invade slightly the second page of the spread, but still leaving a good space for the next drawing there. Even play with white spaces, leaving lots of blank an area of the sketchbook spread of your landscape. If you haven't tried yet, I suggest you highly to find the squared format of your favorite size or sketchbook. I believe landscape format is kind of a niche one. I don't like that a lot. I've been having tons of portrait sketchbook before I discovered squared format. If you enjoyed this sketchbook tour, there is a full playlist with many of them from my past sketchbooks. Drop me a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video. Bye!